Coast to Coast Pick 5. $1 minimum. Player-friendly 15% takeout. Coast to Coast Pick 5.
Alexa Zepp here with the daily racing form to preview your Coast to Coast Pick 5 for Saturday, May 11th. Our friends over at First Racing put this special wager together every Saturday and Sunday. It connects 5 races across Gulfstream and Santa Anita. It has a $1 minimum and a 15% takeout, so it's very player friendly, and we here at DRF offer free pass performances for every race in the sequence. So let's take a look at Saturday's sequence. It starts off with Gulfstream Race 8. This is the Royal Palm Juvenile Filly Stakes for $120,000, going 5 furlongs on the turf for 2-year-olds. This is on the road to the Royal Ascot, so the winner receives a $25,000 travel stipend and an automatic berth into a juvenile race in June at Royal Ascot. Half of the field are first-time starters. The 8 is the only one who's tried the turf. I like number 6, Ramsey Pond, 10-1 morning line by Divisadero, who's by Kitten's Joy, who I love seeing in turf starters. Divisadero's first-time starters win at 23% and turf sprinters at 25%. Safi is a trainer, and he wins at 27% with 2-year-olds. And I really like her nice 4-furlong gate work two-back. According to Time From US, she also has one of the best pedigree ratings in the field. The number 7, the Queen's MG, is Safi's other horse. This horse is already a winner in her first start in a maiden special weight at Keeneland. She wired the field after a bad start, which is impressive for a baby. She also lost the lead in the stretch and then fought back. She was 45-1 that day and just showed a lot of grit for a young horse on debut. She'll be at 5-1 morning line in here. The number 9, Perfect Chances, is the 9-5 morning line favorite. She won by 4 lengths in the slop on debut at Keeneland. That aside, she's just hard to ignore, being under the guidance of Wesley Ward, the best 2-year-old trainer in the country, with 32% winners. She'll be the favorite and apparently has been training well. The second race in the sequence is Santa Anita Race 3. It's an allowance optional claiming for 3-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs on the turf. It's only a 5-horse field that really doesn't have any strong early pace horses, so the lead will be favored. With that in mind, I like the number 2, Elegant, who, other than her last out, has been the leader in the early stages in her races. Her one win was over this course at Santa Anita in January this year. She does have a tendency to fade, but I do think the pace setup should help her quite a bit. The number 4, Soho, is hard to ignore, with every workout since last September being a bull at work. This will be her first back since October, but she did win her debut in a turf sprint, so we know that Sadler can have her ready without racing her under shape. Her 2 losses were at a mile, so it's possible she just likes the shorter distances, and she'll be getting Lasix for the first time as well, so she'll be a valid favorite. The third leg of this Pick 5 is Gulfstream Race 9. It's an allowance optional claiming going 7 furlongs on the dirt for 3-year-olds and up. This race should have a slower pace and favor whoever takes the lead. I like number 2, Turbo. He tends to be near the lead, so the pace will advantage him. He's coming off of his 2 lifetime best performances after a 14-month layoff. So the time off definitely seems to have done him good. He's also coming off of a bull at work and sustained a duel in the stretch last race to barely miss, getting 3rd, a neck behind the winner. And Toxic Gray, who is in today and is my other selection, number 7, Toxic Gray. This will be his second performance off of his 14-month layoff. So that last race with Turbo was his first back, and he just showed up in a really big way, only losing by a nose. He's won or gotten second in all of his starts, and his trainer Plessa wins allowance races 30% of the time with a wild $7.54 ROI. So that's just a great bet any day. The fourth leg of this wager is Gulfstream Race 10. It's the Royal Palm Juvenile Stakes, 5 furlongs on the turf for 2-year-olds. So like its female counterpart earlier in the card, the winner here will get a berth to Royal Ascot. The morning line favorite, number 8, Raise the Bar, is a confirmed scratch from trainer Wesley Ward. Now, these 2-year-old baby races can definitely be volatile and produce big prices, so I like to include some value plays, and for me, that's the number 1 in here, Make It to Cheyenne with 20-1 morning line. Her dam, Spite's Comet, has had 2 foals, and Make It to Cheyenne and Mount Masada, who is a winner with a 75 buyer, albeit on the dirt. But Make It to Cheyenne is also coming off of a bull at work and has the top pedigree rating in the field by Time For Us with a 99 out of 100. The number 4, Classy War by Wara Will. I like the bull at Gatework last out, and trained by Mark Cassey, who again is 17% with 2-year-olds, and Classy's morning line is 12-1. The number 10 Governor Sam, he's trained by George Weaver, who won both this race and the female version, the Juvenile Fillies, last year. So he knows how to win this race. Governor Sam has one of the best pedigree rankings in the race as well, according to Time from US, with a 97 out of 100 for turf sprints. And finally, the last race in this wager is Santa Anita Race 7. It's a $25,000 claiming race for 3-year-olds and up, going 1 1/8 miles on the turf. This race should have an even pace. I like 2 horses in here. The number 5, Ferrariano, is the early pace in here. He faded badly in his last out, but it was his first time out in over 2 years, and he led a fast pace. So this even pace, definitely should set up better for him. He definitely has run the best, most consistent numbers of anyone in here. So if he can return back to those numbers from a few years ago, then it should be a pretty easy win for him. But I'll also use the number 4, Sir Pistolero. This horse is much more lightly raced. He has 2 recent races, the first of which he wired the field and won by 4 lengths, posting a 70 buyer. He took a step back next out last month, but it was switching to dirt, so I'm willing to forgive that and hope he improves returning to the grass. Those last 2 races were also at Turf Paradise, so this should be a bit tougher test for him. But when you put it all together, the ticket is $72. Remember that this wager has a $1 minimum, so the cost can be higher, but the rewards are greater. I think last Sunday, the payout was over $100,000. So remember to utilize your free past performances for every race in the sequence, and good luck with your Coast to Coast Pick 5.